1,500, we would have been able to maintain volume. That was the principle that we were thinking of the fraction. That's what we talk about.
Welcome to beautiful Cape Coral, Florida, and this is going to be a good one. That's right, Nice Guys Pizza, and we've got half of the dynamic duo here with us. It's Greg Gebhard.
Yes.
Good to see you, Greg.
Likewise.
And Jovana's not here with us today, but kind of the spirit of Jovana is in here.
Oh yeah, you'll see.
This is Nice Guys Pizza, and we had to tell you this is small business story at its finest, and Greg's going to spend a little bit of his afternoon here with us today on a Friday before it gets really, really busting busy.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
Let's roll in. Nice Guys Pizza. All right, Greg. First of all, the name, Nice Guys Pizza.
Yes. So when we were in Cleveland, we lived in Cleveland before this, and we had a group of friends, and there were a couple of different Gregs in the group of friends. So I was Nice Guy Greg, and then there was, other Greg. So that just kind of stuck. We were looking for a name, trying to figure something out, and that was just kind of, that's the one that stuck out of like a list of names we had. So.
I could see that. Today it's going to be all about small business, kind of just inflation and survival, how that's working. Also, how do you do just a couple of things really well? You do really well, you and your staff and your team, pizza and cocktails, right?
Yes. That's what we try to focus all of our energy on pizza, cocktails, and a very small amount of appetizers. So try and do a small amount of things as good as we possibly can.
You're going to see a couple of delicious cocktails made. Greg's going to bust out a pizza for us. And then we're going to just kind of talk about how do you develop a concept and where do you go from there. So let's rewind, just like Alice in Wonderland. Go to the beginning, Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, so right outside Buffalo, that's where I started working with pizza stuff when I was in my teens. First pizza place job was just a couple miles from my house, so I was, young, working way too many hours, more hours than I was supposed to. And yeah, just learned everything I know about pizza there. I worked in pizza places through college. So that was high school, worked in college, and just always loved pizzas and always loved food and loved pizza. And pizza was kind of like the gateway into food for me.
And when it came to kind of developing your menu and when you and Jovana were talking to each other, like you're like, pizza, I can do pizza well, that will be someplace we can start.
Totally, yeah, and you can turn anything into a pizza too. So it kind of pizza was the thing that allowed us not to be limited. So we're able to do, whatever we want to on a pizza form. So just because it's got a piece of dough underneath it, technically you can call it a pizza. A lot of the stuff we have, people probably traditionally would say isn't pizza, but if you put it together and put it in that shape, you can call it a pizza and send it out. So
absolutely,
yeah.
It's pizza, tacos, you do the same things, right?
Totally, yeah, exactly.
You need a shell and you build off of that.
Yeah.
So craft and artisan and how to kind of make this mechanism that makes sense and works, and then also is meaningful to the community. That's everything that the Modern Eater's about, and that's why we found Nice Guys here in Cape Coral, Florida. Let's rewind just a little bit more. You and your wife, Jovana.
Yes.
Where'd you meet?
So we met in a band. I was in bands and she was in bands. We're both in like semi-successful bands. And then her band was actually looking for a bass player, and it was an all-girl band at the time. And I just, as kind of like a half joke, shot a text to her guitar player like, hey, if you guys need a bass player, I'm here. Like, because I know they toured a ton, and I just wanted to tour all the time. So I tried out, and they chose me to be in the band out of the couple of people that they tried out. And ever since then, we spent for the first, probably 10 years of our relationship, we spent less than 30 days apart. Because from then on, it was always practice every day. Then we go on tour for 6 months a year. We'd get back. We worked at a lot of the same places. So yeah, just kind of happened there and happened totally organically and accidentally, I guess.
Wow, kind of cool to be able to tour as a band, but also by trade, both of you bartenders, right?
Yes, yep. We're different. She's the speed bartender. I'm more of the
not speed bartender.
I'm the slow guy for sure. But like I'll sit here and shoot it with you all night and you'll get your drink half as fast from me as you do from her, but you'll be just as happy either way.
That's right. And I call that the methodical bartender, right?
Yeah.
So Nick's showing us around, and this is Nice Guys in Cape Coral, Florida, and we have to begin with this because the decor, right? I mean, first of all, you want to sit down and spend some time in here.
For sure.
What were your thoughts about just kind of building an atmosphere?
So we're not a turn and burn place for sure. Like you can sit there, I think you guys were in the other night, you can stay as long as you want to. We're never going to be like, hey, you've been here for an hour, you got to get out of here. It's like, if you leave after one drink in your dinner, I did something wrong, I feel like. Like I want you to stay and hang out and kind of, I don't have a place for you to sit down. Because if I'm at a bar, I go to a random city, I want to sit at the bar for like 3-4 hours. I don't want to sit there and move on to the next place. I want to find the one place that I like and I want to stay there for a long time. So that's kind of what we're going for here. For me, Jovana, she's great with all the design stuff and the aesthetics. For me, I'm pretty much just like lighting and sound are the two things that matter the most to me. Like if it's too bright, I'm not going to like it. If there's too many white lights, I'm not going to like it. If it's too quiet, I'm not going to like it. If it's too loud, I'll probably still like it, but just
that's your entertainment in you, I think. The kind of the showman mentality is like, let's get those few things right. And that's what I really like about this business. It's like we need to dial in on those important things for a guest experience, which is the food, the atmosphere, that vibe itself, and then just quality all the way around. Let's concentrate on those things and put blinders on and not worry about the rest. If we can concentrate on those things, we're ahead of the game right there.
For sure, yeah. And those are super important, again, to us. Like we take, we'll go to Tales of the Cocktail every year in New Orleans for cocktail stuff. We'll bring a couple of the bartenders. This year we took classes on like the sound, it was called the sound of hospitality. So I took a class on it. It ended up being sound and lighting for the most part, which were like two things that were right up my alley. And I learned a bunch from that. And I learned some of our limitations from that too, because of the budget we're always on. So, the hotels and all that kind of stuff, they can do huge sound budgets. But for us, we're on we're a much smaller scale. So we got to kind of work with what we've got, which we are doing here now. And it's working so far.
So this is Greg from Nice Guys, and we're in Cape Coral, Florida. And I'm trying to be, I like to choose my words correctly and be polite with it, but it's kind of a craft food desert around here.
Yeah, it's getting better for sure. Here you don't have to be as good as you do in some other cities. Like you're from Colorado, you go to Denver. If your place sucks, somebody's going to go right next door and get 10 times better, of a dish, of an experience. But here, there's so many, and this is less so now than it was before. There's so many people coming in and out during season. We have a huge tourist season, so I think a lot of the people that are getting into the business want to kind of make as much money as they can, and then during the summertime they'll all drown.
You dialed it in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is, but that's not your ethos and that's not how you're going to operate.
Totally.
Sustainability is what you want to do, not only with your business, your restaurant, your relationships, your mental health, your physical health, but also with the staff that you have.
For sure. Well. Yeah, because if their income is gone in the summertime, we got to make sure they're taken care of, and we have to make sure we're taken care of too. Front of house, they're relying on people coming in for tips. Back of house is relying on us making money on pizzas to be able to pay them again. So
I say a happy staff makes happy food that makes happy customers.
100%.
And
yes.
if you can follow that algorithm, you're doing it. So we want to take a little spin around, but I need to start out with a cocktail. Yeah. I'm at a craft cocktail bar. I need to have a cocktail. Yeah. You mind jumping behind the bar, Greg?
Totally.
And again, this is the Quiet Before the Storm. We thank Greg Gebhard for taking the time on a Friday prep, just getting ready for tonight. But as you're setting up here, and we're going to talk about cocktails, what's a typical Friday evening like around here at Nice Guys?
Chaos, like controlled chaos. Like we got a system down, but it does get pretty nutty in a good way.
Yeah.
So it's just generally very busy on Friday, Saturday. If you're not busy Friday, Saturday, something's wrong. If you can stay busy on weekdays, then you're doing something right. So
cool. All right, here we go. You look at this cocktail menu. First of all, I have to show you, and again, Greg, by trade being a bartender in the early years of Greg's existence, pretty early years is the stories you've shared with me, which is cool. The craft cocktail, you have to really dig in and get creative, but you also have to have those I don't know, what is it, signature tastes that people are used to, and then maybe do a little flair on
Yeah,
it.
you got to have the crowd pleasers. So it's got to be a balanced menu. You can't have everything just be like totally cutting edge. You have to have some stuff for people to be able to trust you. So trust is a huge thing for us. I want you to trust me. So I'm going to make you something that you think you're going to like. If you love it, then you'll be more willing to try something you're not sure on. So if I make you a cocktail that you've had a million times, but if mine is a little bit different or a little bit better, you're going to be like, oh, this guy probably knows what he's doing. Let's listen to him on the next cocktail.
So the variations, again, you're going to find some of your regular stuff that you have here. And I would imagine if somebody comes up and says, can I have a Manhattan, you're going to be able to accommodate them with
Totally.
that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And
We'll
then
give
you
them the best
get in,
Manhattan we can.
And then you get into these babies right here. So what are you preparing for us right now?
So
and then let's talk about
one.
some of the sustainability stuff that you have going on as well.
Yeah, so this one is kind of blue. Sustainability-wise, these are local eggs. Obviously, you got to get the best eggs you can possibly get because that's going to be the flavor on your cocktail. For the egg yolks, we reuse those for like a super secret sneak peek thing. Nobody else knows about this. We're doing an eggnog. We've been doing it since February of this year. We've got like 100 gallons of eggnog ready to roll right now. We're just going to keep using all the yolks for nog. So
now that is really cool right there. That's one of the nuances. Again, a small business is going to do it. And you know, sometimes you say, well, why do you do that? There's a cost thing involved with that
for
too.
sure.
Cross utilization of ingredients.
Yep.
That's everything that you do to try and squeak out a little profit in a world of restaurants where profit is so hard to come by.
100%. And that generally works out. You know, if you're saving money profit-wise, you're generally using more of the ingredient too, which is great for environmental sustainability too. So that's like, you know, always number one on our list is trying to make sure that we're not like just killing the planet all, you know, because restaurants are super wasteful places across the board, which is something that we, you know, always are conscious about.
You see why I'm in love with this place? All right, Greg, hit me.
So this is, it's a super juice. We did not invent this, but we learned how to do it. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's essentially using acids and parts of the lemon and the lime to make your own lemon and lime juice. So this, we use citric, malic acid, different parts of almost the entire lime except for all the white, like the pith. The pith we don't use. Everything else, the juice, the rind, all gets used and processed into this lime juice. You can get 8 times the yield out of a lime.
What?
Yeah.
Do you have to filter it at that point?
Yes. Yeah. So you're making an oleosaccharum, I believe it's called. It's either oleosaccharum or oleosaccharide, and you process that in with some water, and then the actual liquid from the limes, and then you strain it out. So it's a process, but you can make a much more shelf-stable lime juice and get a lot more yield out of it too. So it's much better for the environment.
Sweet, and man, nutrient dense.
And this is some butterfly pea flower gin.
As we look at your back bar there too, kind of, you know, ordering is one of the things that, as a cocktail bar, you go, well, what are the staples that we have here? What's your method behind what you're doing as far as ordering?
So we
you got to have a whiskey, a bourbon, a gin, a vodka.
Sure. Yeah, I think we have like 2 vodkas and then a trick vodka. We've got Tito's, we've got Kettle, and then this is our secret. I don't even know where it is right now. Zubrauka. So this is what somebody's like, I don't like gin. It's a gin cocktail. I'm like, okay, I'll use this vodka. It's got vodka written on the front of it there. Tastes like gin. So people that think they don't like gin, try that, and we're like, okay, you do like gin. You just don't want to say you like gin.
Yeah.
So this one first gets a dry shake. Shake it a little bit. Shake it a lot, actually. You can just like speed this part up or something like that.
I don't know, you got that. So I am a huge egg white drink fan.
Good.
I just like the frothiness of it and the taste and the mouth feel to it. I mean, I think a lot of people, I don't know, do people really enjoy those types of cocktails?
Oh, for sure. It takes a specific person. You know, somebody who's a little more adventurous. Somebody who's like plain Jane wants something easy that they've had a million times probably isn't going to try it. But the first time I tried an egg cocktail was Ramos Gin Fizz at this really nice bar in Cleveland. And ever since then, I'm like, you put an egg in a cocktail? This is great.
Yeah, no doubt. So down the line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cocktails on your. Where do you begin when you approach this to make a cocktail for a restaurant? Do you kind of have to go buy spirits and break it down that way, or?
So we always kind of lean seasonally. Like it's generally a hot place here, but people want to pretend like it's not. So a lot of times in the fall and winter, we'll lean towards the brown, bourbons, some darker rums, different whiskeys. Summertime, we'll go gins, vodkas, tequilas. But we always try and make sure we have at least one of those on the cocktail menu for everybody on the front part. So these cocktails change either monthly, or we used to do it every month religiously. Since things got kind of skewed in 2020, we've been doing it every month and a half-ish. So that whole menu is about to change in about a week here too. And then the ones that really stick end up on this side here too. So that's a big focus for us too. Low ABV cocktails, and then no ABV cocktails. We try and make sure we have some stuff for people that don't drink alcohol too, because people get pregnant. People just don't drink alcohol.
So
yeah, so there's got to be something for. That's kind of like our ethos. We're something for everybody here for sure.
So that's exactly the feeling that Mick and I had when we came in here. There was everything that we needed in one spot. It was entertainment, it was food, it was service, it was everything that you would want in a place. And I have to commend you and Jovana for developing something like that. You knew it was going to work right away.
Yeah, it was kind of just like not an option for us to fail. It's just kind of like it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen this way, then we'll tweak it until we figure it out. So we started out, super slow. The thing that we had the luxury of doing is we got a place that was dirt cheap. It was already in existence. So we got it super cheap. So we didn't have to take out any loans or anything like that. So we just kind of worked. I actually still had a job for the first year that we were in business.
Get that baby right there. I can't wait to see how you garnish this. It's the little things, and as I look at your cocktail menu, Greg, and don't get any ideas on this, but you could. These cocktails go for 17, 18 bucks in a major metropolitan city.
Yeah, and we definitely try and make sure. Oh, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good. So we actually don't open up till 4 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it open?
Yeah, no, sorry about that. We're just doing a podcast. Wave hi. 4 o'clock. If you guys are looking for something now, I think number 3 right across the street, they're open right now. You're looking for food or beverages? Food and beverage. Vinny's, Sicily Trattoria right across the street, they're super good.
Okay.
Or the Spot right down there is good too. And then number 3 for beers afterwards, right across the street.
Perfect, thank you.
Take care.
That's great. They're trying to get in here before open.
Oh yeah, always. We try and we make sure we lock the doors to keep the crazies out.
Yeah. Well, so as far as the hours go, how did you develop what hours you wanted to be open?
So at first we took over a business that was already here. We're night people, but we took over a business that was open dinner time. So we kind of stuck that out for a while, and then we were opening and closing it ourselves pretty much. So every day we'd get here at like 9, 10 o'clock to set up for service for 11 o'clock for lunch. We'd do lunch and dinner. We're super broke. We have no money. So the people that are there spending money drinking beers are there till 10, 11 o'clock. We're not going to kick them out. They're sticking around till 2. So eventually we realized we were making so much more money during dinner time than we were during lunchtime because of the beverages. So we just kind of stuck that out and,
and
decided to make the switch.
That goes back to, look at this wonderful cocktail, which I always say the phone needs to consume it first. That goes back to basically the ethos of how do we maximize what we're doing and do it well within those parameters.
For sure, yeah. We were killing ourselves. We were open from 11 to 11, and that was just long days. So we figured we moved it to from 4 till 2, and we actually cut a couple hours out of our shift too. So we cut 2 hours out of the workday, and increased our profit that way too.
Feel guilty that I'm the only one drinking, but I really don't actually. Delicious, great balance right there. That's a wonderful cocktail, and the herbs on top of it. What are those herbs?
So that's just like a mixed flour.
Yeah,
just like a mixed flours that are all all edible. There's some stuff you're not supposed to eat, but that's not in that mix. So generally, if you get a flower on your cocktail, you can eat it. But if you're not sure, ask the bartender, because some of them you're actually not supposed to eat. They go on there, but I've eaten stuff you're not supposed to eat all the time.
That's right.
But the more aromatic part, we throw a little bit of aromatic bitters on there too to kill the a little bit of the egg. You're supposed to either throw some kind of citrus on it or hit it with that.
Cool, man. A little drink. Can we take a little spin around
Yeah,
here?
totally.
And then we're going to get a pizza because
Cool.
that's what you have to do here.
Sorry,
at
James.
Nice Guys.
No, you're good.
They're getting prepped up. Again, people are wanting to get in here. Greg's spending some time with us. We're doing a little
How's it
lap
going?
around here.
Good.
So here's a great utilization of space. Now, you've got the building. You
Yes.
bought the building. This is yours, which is fantastic. Congratulations to both you
Thank
and Jovana.
you.
But I walk into here and I go, oh my God. You mentioned come in here and hang out, but I'm not going to leave at all.
Good. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is-
We want you. We've had people that show up here right when we open that don't leave till close, and I love that. Like I want you to hang out here all day, and hopefully, we're not going to break the bank doing it. We want you to just be able to hang out and come back again too. So.
So a lot of times in business, people have around them what they like. Is this indicative to you?
100%. Yeah, because we have to spend so much of our lives here, so we're going to make sure that it's a place that we want to be. That like, if there's some downtime, I can come out here and play, pinball a couple of games if I can. End of the night, beginning of the day, I can hop back here and play a little bit. The music thing's huge for us. This is actually a music stage that we've turned into. We haven't turned it into. Some of our friends, actually, the dude that just walked in now, James, his girlfriend, and one of our other friends is selling vintage clothing out of here too. So just another thing to bring people in, give
Community.
people something to do. Exactly. Yeah,
Building
totally.
community.
Yeah, and it'll hopefully help them. Help their business stuff out too.
And then when you talk about multi-purpose, it's like, okay, multifunction. You've got a screen behind there. You're going to do a movie. You're going to do a comedy night.
Yeah.
You're going to do a band.
Yep.
This is kind of your background. Let's do a stage.
Totally, yeah. Yep, stage. We got the audio back there. We have some of the, for how small this room is, it's actually a laughably nice system that we have back there. We could probably just get away with something little tiny, but we want to be able to have bigger bands come through here and actually be able to take care of them the way that they're used to being taken care of. So yeah, the stage we got in here. We do movie nights, horror movie nights. We had Dan Myrick from the Blair Witch Project in last year. He's the director and co-producer of the movie. He came in and did a Q&A on the Blair Witch Project, and
Wow.
yeah, it was great. He was like the
ridiculous.
coolest dude ever. That guy's awesome.
I was looking at a couple of tabletop cards, and you have comedy coming in
Yep.
here tomorrow
Comedy
night.
tomorrow, which we've sold out every one of the ones we've had so far. And that's been great, because comedy's kind of hit or miss. The guy that's putting on the comedy stuff, everybody that he's brought through so far has actually been funny, because some of those, you ever been to a comedy show that's just like, or an open mic night? It's just like,
uncomfortable.
oh yeah, it's so bad, it's brutal, but his stuff has been super dynamite.
Is legit.
So, yeah.
So pinball,
Yeah,
kind of
pinball,
a
couple
hangout area.
arcades.
Now you can't help but notice the art on the wall. Again, this is another community aspect that Nice Guys have.
Totally. Yep. Yeah. And all that stuff. Again, all of it's for sale. It's all the money staying local. So that's something that's important to us, is to keep as much of the money around here as we can, because then we'll be able to grow as a community instead of just shipping it off to somewhere else.
I mentioned, what's up with the mannequins around here? I kind of thought it was a punk rock thing. Growing up, I had a friend, his name was Aaron, and it was his basement. In Colorado, there's basements.
Oh yeah.
And you get into people's basements, and it's where the real personality comes out. That's where your freak flag is. And there, he had mannequins dressed up, and we'd sit and listen to Skinny Puppy or whatever it was, and just listen to music and hang out. But I noticed mannequins around here. I was like, is Aaron hanging out around here somewhere?
Yeah.
What's this deal with the mannequins?
So the mannequins, we had them for when we were playing music. We had a couple mannequins with the shirts we had, just to kind of display the shirts, so you could see them. You didn't have to walk up to the merch table. You could see them from far away, like, oh, that's a cool shirt. I want to grab it. So we had a couple mannequins here to display some of our shirts, and then our buddy was clearing out at J.C. Penney's. It was he got on a demo job, and he showed up here with a van full of mannequins. So he's like, you just
You
showed
don't
up,
turn
brought
that
them all
away.
in. Yeah. So we're like, we'll find something to do with them. So like at one point we had this one. We had another one that was this size.
Come
a
over here
little
and look
kid.
at this, Nick. Nick, come look at what we're talking about over here with the mannequins.
Yeah, so the creepy no-face mannequins, we had one that was tall like that, two little kid ones, and the other arm, I don't know if it's on this one, is like holding something behind its back for whatever pose that was. And people are like, oh, it's got a knife. And there was another little, even smaller kid version of that. And they were creepy. So we used to like set them up in different weird little, little circles and stuff like that. And they don't have faces, which makes them even creepier.
Yeah.
And yeah, people started saying like that we were some kind of like demon cult place, like legitimately. Like I saw people online posting like they're like a cult and demonic spirits and stuff, and I was just like, whoa, you guys are like
too much
taking,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. You're looking too much into all this stuff.
And as you walk around, there's stories everywhere. Nick, come follow us and look at some of these things. I got to ask you just some of the things you have here. These shoes right here. What's the story behind these shoes?
So they're Randy Quaid's. He played Cousin Eddie in Christmas Vacation. I love Christmas. So that was one of our dumb acquisitions, I guess.
That's an awesome acquisition.
So yeah, it's just absolutely no reason behind it. I love Christmas. I love that movie. We've got our Christmas time every year, December. We do a seasonal cocktail list. We have a cocktail called Cousin Eddie. It's an eggnog cocktail, which we're probably not going to be doing this year because of that until we run out of that 100 gallons of other cocktail. And the aged eggnog cocktail is actually James's idea, and yeah, it's dynamite.
What would be the one thing that you would say, Greg, I got to show you this because this is a story in here that maybe no one else would know, or just a secret story of something that stands out and you're like, I know this one right here.
The money angel, just off the top of my head, it's right in front of us. There's a money angel there. One of our regulars back in the day, she's still a regular now. Her and her husband are awesome. They actually are part of the people that introduced us to the gentleman that helped us get this building. So Alan and Naomi, she is, they're Jewish, and her employer at the time gave her this Christmas, a Christmas thing. It was clearly like a Catholic or Christian Christmas ornament. So she's like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm Jewish. Here, you take it. So we just hung it up on the ceiling. And then one of the regulars around here was working at a bar across the street. He would come in all the time. And we had the money angel hanging there with no money on it and just a bunch of clothespins that were hanging underneath it. And he was like, yeah, if you hang a dollar bill here, everyone else is going to start hanging money here. I was like, dude, you're like out of your, like, okay, whatever, dude, shut up. I'll hang a dollar bill there. And then everybody else started hanging dollar bills there. The dude was totally right. So.
And it that takes on a life of its own.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff around, like, I don't even notice some of the stuff that, like, people kind of help decorate in here too. Like, somebody will stick something up and I won't notice it for like 6 months. I'll be like, hey, who put that lizard here? And they'll be like, that's been here for like a year and a half, dude. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, nice, guys. So I'm done with this cocktail. We're hanging out. You're getting ready, and we need to get out of your way, but we have to have a pizza first.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
What do you say we push pause, come back, have a pizza, and talk about how do you build a pizza? I don't know that there's really a wrong way to build a pizza, but you know the right ways to build a pizza, and I want to talk about those flavor combinations.
First, though, let me make you one more cocktail.
Oh, you got another one in?
Oh yeah, this one's jiffy quick.
All right, what did you have in mind?
So
the other night I had the Snozberry Smash and what else did I have? The Blood
Vampire Margarita. Yes. So that's
Margarita.
One of the things that we do around here that's different than a lot of the other places is for speed wise, especially January, February, March, April, it's crazy balls to the wall in here. So we do draft cocktails. So the Vampire Margarita is a draft cocktail that we do. The Golden Girl is also a draft cocktail. And then we've got a butterbeer on Nitro draft cocktail. We also have Nitro Fernet. Yeah.
Nitro Fernet.
Yeah, so we got Fernet on Nitro.
Wow.
So yeah, we got the Nitro stuff here, the CO2 stuff there. So we're trying to, like, speed is always something that we're conscious of too, because like this cocktail takes way too long to put on the menu January, February, March. So we're doing it in the summertime. January, February, March, we lean towards cocktails, quicker stuff.
Now,
like this one. This is my favorite cocktail because it takes 2 seconds to prepare.
for sure. Now,
there you are.
love it.
And that is the tea bag. So that's our version of a twisted tea. That was actually James's cocktail. We worked with
these here.
We can these here. Yep, exactly. So that's what that other cooler is over there. We'll use that for canning. I'll put the canning machine up there, run it through the cooler, and then can them right on the spot. And our buddy Lee, who did all the artwork here, he helped us design or he didn't help us design. I told him, like, hey, can you do something like this? And he knocked it out of the park with that label.
Dude, now during COVID, a lot of people were able to sell cocktails to go.
Yes.
And this was an innovation that you had at the time?
So before we were able, so that the canning machine is an undertaking in itself. So we had to-go cocktails that we called Little Helpers. At the beginning of the pandemic, you weren't actually allowed to do cocktails to go.
Ooh, that's good.
So you could I could sell you a bottle of booze, but I couldn't make a cocktail for you. So we did these things called survival kits, and I sold you a bottle of the booze with some of our house mixes on the side. So I would sell you like a Mai Tai with a batch of the Mai Tai mix, and then you could make the cocktails at your house. And we'd send you with garnishes and glassware and all that kind of stuff, because we didn't have the ability to send liquor. We could send beer out, but we couldn't send liquor out unless it was like a legit full bottle. So we'd package that as a whole thing and send you with as much liquid as you'd need to finish off the bottle. So during the pandemic, our customer base was amazing. They were out we had people that were out here every single day getting food to go and cocktails and beers and stuff, just to kind of make sure that we stayed in business. So
Not
we were
that you
lucky.
want to be the kind of ultimate COVID-friendly business, but pizza, right?
We just lucked out for sure. If we were more fine dining stuff that our pizza doesn't travel as well as some do, because we cook at a higher temperature. But it definitely, it's doable to go for sure. It's still going to be great. It's just, eating the pizza right here on the spot is where it's at. But to go, obviously it's great for pizza.
I told you I did the next day test with one of the spicy pizza. What's it called?
Some like it hot.
Which we do like it hot. I mean, first of all, great here, but also great the next day. Speaking of pizza, kind of your thing, and there's some proprietary things that are going on, and of course I like to get into the kitchens. You know that. Respectfully, we're going to hang back because there are some little trade secrets that you have here.
Oh, totally, yes.
Without saying the secrets, what are some of the secrets, if that makes sense?
So a lot of our secrets are kind of not really secrets overall. Like if you make all of your stuff in-house, it's going to be better. So we make all of our own dough, we make all of our own sauce, we make all, everything that we can possibly make, we make it here. So just having fresh dough, I think, is the number one secret of having good pizza. If you make, a lot of people will make pizza once a week or make pizza dough once a week. We have one guy in there who makes makes dough every single day. So he's just in there.
That's his
dough.
job.
Yeah, totally.
Doing the dough.
Yeah.
And you probably go, give me an idea what you go through. How many balls of dough?
Couple hundred, a couple hundred pies.
I love it. So you're going to jump back into the kitchen, bring out a pizza. Which one are you thinking of making?
Well, since you said that you wanted some good leftover stuff, my cousin Vinny, that one's super good leftover. That one's good right out of the fridge. You don't have to heat it up again.
What's
the hot
on it?
honey. So that one so in Florida we have Publix, so it's like a pub sub on pizza. So it's got all the Italian meats, it's got some iceberg lettuce, a little bit of oregano, some of our house white balsamic dressing, mozzarella, a little bit of tomato. It's got kind of everything you would have on a sub, but on pizza form.
Yeah.
So that one right out of the fridge the next day is great. Hot honey, that's our most popular one. I'll probably make you that one too. Provolone, Parmesan, mozzarella cheese, soppressata, prosciutto, and then a house-made hot honey. Which we get as much as we can from Walker Farms in North Fort Myers. They're super awesome. So if you're in Florida, go to Walker Farms, check them out. It's this cool couple, a little bit older. They've been doing it forever, and their stuff's awesome. So definitely check that out.
I love that. Businesses doing businesses with other businesses. You're going to head into the kitchen. When you come back, we're going to talk pizzas and assembly. One of the first question I'm going to ask is there ever too many toppings that you can put on a pizza? I have my answer. We'll break away, come back, and talk to Greg here. Greg Gebhard. Here we are, nice guys in Cape Coral, Florida. All right, order up. Here it is, the pizzas as we promised. Greg Gebhard, good to see you again with some pizza.
Likewise. Yes, it's always better with pizzas.
These are some sexy pizzas right here. Let's go down the line. Nick, just get in here because we got to show these pizzas. Number one.
So this is actually a fully vegan pizza. This one is a vegan General Tso's chicken pizza, so chicken. It's got a garlic base, some broccoli, pineapple, Thai chilies, vegan chicken, then a General Tso sauce. So that is one of the ones that was a college experimentation pizza that came up 15, 20 years ago that I was working on forever. That we used to trade sauces with the dude at the Chinese food restaurant when I was working at the pizza place. So
I'm not mad at this pizza at all. What are you doing for the cheese on this?
So it's a vegan cheese.
Yeah.
There's a vegan cheese, and in most, not across the board, but most Asian foods, there's there isn't actually a lot of cheese at all. So this one was a piece of cake just to kind of throw together with as minimal amount of cheese as possible. The cheese is pretty much on there to make sure the rest of it doesn't burn and to hold things in place. So the cheese is like the afterthought of this entire pizza.
What does the pull apart look on this one?
Pretty good actually. Like, so back in the day, the cheeses were terribly, almost like plasticky, but now it's considerably better than it was back in the day. So there's actually, you can see a little bit of stretch on there. But yeah, vegan cheese in the last 10 years is leaps and bounds better than it was before.
Oh, and there's the signature crust.
Oh yeah, the crust is where it's at. Back in the day, somebody told me that the pizza crust, it was me and Yov were sitting there with somebody back in the day, and he was telling us the crust has the least amount of flavor on the pizza, so you want to make sure that you get all the toppings all the way over to the crust so they can't taste it. And that was immediately, we're like, we got to figure out how to make this the best part of the pizza. So its crust is where it's at. The little pizza bones, I'll eat that all day long.
Perfect. So. Well, we go from the vegan to the not so vegan.
Yes, the opposite of vegan. This one's the hot honey. This is our most popular pizza by far. We sell more of this than anything else. This one's got fresh tomato and garlic base, provolone, parmesan, mozzarella cheese, soppressata, and then prosciutto with house-made hot honey on top of it. Again, Walker Farms honey when we can get it from North Fort Myers. Super, super good stuff. A little bit spicy. When you eat the honey on its own, it's super spicy, but on the pizza itself, totally, not going to kill you at all. I've served it to all age groups. Little kids can eat it no problem. So.
And I like it. I mean, this one's going to have everything that you want in a piece of pizza. Oh my goodness! Look at that. It is delicious. My mouth is just watering right now looking at these pizzas, but that is perfect. We're going to dig into that in a second. We go down the line. I go, hey, listen, this is where it's at right here. Tell me about this pizza.
So this is, again, this one's the My Cousin Vinny. This is kind of our little, we call it the pub sub pizza because it's just like a pub sub. So it's got fresh tomato and garlic base. It's got salami, pepperoni, calabrese, prosciutto, banana peppers, iceberg lettuce on top, and then some of our house-made white balsamic dressing with some oregano. So it's just like I'll eat a sub, but I'll throw that together too. So this one, straight out of the fridge the next day, no problem. This one I like in a frying pan with an egg on top of it.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, and then this one you can just do frying pan, no egg, frying pan, lid on it when it's about to get done on the bottom. That way you reserve that bottom crunch too, so preserve the bottom crunch.
When we broke away and you went back to make these pizzas, I posed the question, can there be too many ingredients, too many toppings on a pizza? What's your response?
Yes, 100%. A lot of times, especially if you're putting two toppings that don't work well together, sometimes people go crazy. We've literally had people tell me like, put everything, I want everything on this pizza. I'm like, dude, we got like peanut butter and corn and stuff. You want all that on your pizza? And so we can usually talk them down. I'll generally say, if you're just building your own pizza, always go with 4 or less toppings. That's what I always start with. Unless you really know what you're doing, then you can go ham. You can do some crazy stuff. But for the most part, I almost think the simpler the better on the more traditional stuff.
For sure. So as far as cooking the pizza that goes and putting it in the oven and the integrity of it, there's a method to where you want that heat transferring throughout the pizza as well, 100%. And more toppings may inhibit that.
Exactly. Yeah, and it makes a wetter pizza too. Our crust and our cheese, even though we use like a low moisture, high grade mozzarella cheese, it does have a lot of moisture in it still. Our crust has a ton of water and oil. It's got a really high moisture content. Our sauce for the traditional red sauce pizza has a ton of oil in it. So all that stuff is going to be oily as it is. And then if you put a ton of meats and veggies on it that are going to get, even leach even more moisture, it's going to turn into soup. So you definitely want to be careful there too.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah, and at that point, if somebody does want to add a ton of ingredients, we try to make it worth their money, but we don't want to make a legitimate pile of ingredients on there because then it'll turn into a soup, which is, nobody wants that. They're not going to be happy. They're going to say they're happy. They're going to say they love it, even though I know they don't love it. They want to take some stuff off it. They know I was right, but they're just going to continue to eat it anyway.
This is going to be a great shift meal, family meal for the staff here, and that's fantastic that you're sharing with us. I want to go over a couple of things. Number one, how can people learn more information about Nice Guys and when they're in the Southwest Florida area?
Number one, I would just say come in, just stop in. We're open from 4 p.m. till 2 a.m. every day besides Monday, so just come in, hang out, ask questions. If you want to go online for some of that stuff, niceguyspizza.com, facebook.com/niceguyspizza, Instagram, @niceguyspizza, TikTok @niceguyspizza.
Google it.
Yeah, Nice Guys Pizza. It should all come up there.
We want to hear from you either on the stream or on YouTube after the fact. Tell us about your favorite pizza. How do you assemble your pizza? Because I maintain that there is really no bad pizza. Now, of course, there are some things that you can do wrong fundamentally or execution-wise, but
Even bad pizza is good pizza. Oh yeah.
Bad pizza is good pizza. But talk about the kind of the rest of the stylings of your pizza and how you get creative and where those ideas come from.
The ideas come from a whole lot of trial and error. I'm the type of person as an eater and as a person who cooks who, if I like two things, I'll try them together no matter what, just to kind of see how they play off each other, how they work. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works. I don't know if I was telling you about this earlier, so if I did, just edit this part out. But when I was back at school, when I was in high school, when I first started working pizza places, I thought that you could kind of mix anything you liked for sure. So my parents were out of town. I was on my own for the weekend, so I was like, I'm just gonna bring home some food from work and eat that and watch movies all night. It's gonna be great. So I was stoked. I did nacho cheese. I love nachos. So we had that number 10 can of nacho cheese. So I did chicken wings, which I love wings, tossed in nacho cheese, brought them home, got my whole thing set up, movies up there, ready to go. I'm like full relaxation mode. Push play on the movie, take the first bite of the chicken wing, garbage. Terrible, terrible garbage. So doesn't always work, but you got to try it anyway to figure it out.
Yeah, you do. You tinker with it, but it seems to me like you guys have figured out a pretty good equation because it's a hit. Cape Coral, Florida, Nice Guys Pizza. As we end up here in great Gebhard, and I got to tell you, with greasy fingers and much love. Oh,
and as a fellow bearded man, there you go.
Take it off. Thank you. They'll take care of you here. If you love craft pizza, you love craft cocktails, and you love an environment where you're going to hang out for hours and hours and maybe play some pinball, this is the place to be.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, man.
Spent the afternoon with you. We're going to hang out, settle down, and hang out for the evening here. I don't know. I think maybe we should do a little bit of pinball next.
Yeah, sounds good. Do it up, man. We got till 2 a.m. You got a couple hours.
Thanks. Nice Guys Pizza. Come in and enjoy this. You'll have a great time. Thanks for telling your story with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
That's great. The Modern Eater Show. We love to do it. Family businesses, that's what it's all about. We're going to kick that rock on down the road. We're going to enjoy the weekend here in Florida, but we'll be back at it on Monday, right back in Denver, Colorado. The Modern Eater Show continues.
How do you convert PDFs to JPG?